Hello and welcome to the screencast for the Level 2 module ELL232 Phonology. Phonology is the study of the sound structure of languages, that is, how sounds are stored and processed in the mind. My name is Ranjan Sen. I'm in English Language and Linguistics in the School of English. I'm interested mainly in how the sounds of any language work in the mind of a speaker and how that influences the way they change over time. So my main interest is historical phonology, and that is what I've mainly published on. In order to do this, I need to understand phonology, of course, and also phonetics, actually producing and perceiving the sounds. I also need to know the principles of historical linguistics and psycholinguistics, how sounds are processed in the mind, and also language acquisition, phonological acquisition in particular. The module in phonology will cover various aspects which you may be familiar with from Level 1 Sounds of English. For example, phonemes and allophones. We need to determine the phonemic status of sounds in a language. Is a given sound a phoneme, a contrastive sound unit, or an allophone, a variant of a phoneme? We'll look at rules and representations, how phonological rules work in the world's languages, and representations in the mind, underlying representations, and how those are processed to make surface forms and instructions to articulators. We'll break sounds down into their component features. For example, as you can see on the slide here, minus sonorant means a sound is a non-sonorant or an obstruent, or plus voice means that the sound is voiced. And we'll consider some of the phonological processes in the world's languages, like assimilations, which you may be familiar with from Sounds of English. We'll consider tone languages, languages in which the pitch of the sound is contrastive. So ma might mean something from ma. We'll consider also a very influential theory of phonology called optimality theory, a constraint-based model of phonology, slightly different from a rule-based model. And we'll compare and contrast the two different approaches and consider which one gets you further in analysing data. And finally, we'll end up thinking about syllable structure and why that's relevant and important. Why do we need syllable structure? How does it help inform our phonological analyses? The assessments for the module. There are three kinds of assessments on this module. The first is Assessment 1, a series of mole quizzes, around 6 quizzes, of which the top 5 marks that you obtain will count towards your final module mark. These will be set in specified weeks across the semester, for example, weeks 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. And there'll be a time limit of around an hour and a half, or an hour and a half to complete each quiz. Once you start the quiz, the clock will start ticking, but you can do the quiz at any point during the week. These will consist of multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks, short answer questions. Assessment 2 will be a data analysis of around 800 words, which counts for 20%. The questions will be set around week 4 and you will be required to submit around week 6. This will get you practicing writing out phonological analyses in your own words. Leading on to the final assessment at the end of the teaching for the module of data analysis of 40%, which will take around 1600 words, to be submitted in around week 13. There'll be guidance sessions on each of the data analyses, and you're allowed to discuss the assessments with your peers, but the submitted work must be written up individually. The teaching will consist of 1 lecture per week and 1 seminar per week, which you'll be put in a group for. Groups will be around 10 to 15 people. The seminars will consist of actually doing phonology. Phonology will require you to be analytical, problem solving. You'll need to prepare solutions to a data set, that's a bunch of words in a given language, in advance of the seminar each week. There are no prerequisites for the module, but the Sounds of English material should be revised prior to the start. The main module textbook is available in full text online. This module will really get you thinking logically and methodically. It'll involve pattern spotting and puzzle solving. So if you like logic puzzles and things like that, this module is really for you. You can talk about the transferable skills you obtain in this module when you go on to write your statements and CVs. And this is a module where it doesn't really matter which language you're studying, whether it's English or another language, because it is the analytical tools that you're developing and the way of thinking that you're practicing that is important. Really hope to see you on the module. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Goodbye.